We all love the idea of building our teams, scaling our teams. Most of us aren't too scared once we get into it in regards to building teams, managing teams, having the HR side of things. But there's really a big hidden cost employing staff, and I'm going to discuss it with you right now so that you don't fall into that trap. Well, first of all, I want to just put it out there. Most people that know me will probably already try to correct what I've said by saying the word staff, because I'm not a big believer in using the word staff. I'm a firm believer that we hire team members, and if you do have staff members, then you need to sack them straight away and hire a team. I really think it's just some simple things like the NLP behind what we do and how we do things at times makes a big, big difference for so much of it. And even just swapping out, having staff around the ownership and the hierarchy and all that bullshit. Let's get rid of that. Let's make it the team. All right. It's just so much easier. So that's first and foremost. So let's park that. But here's the thing. The hidden cost of employing staff was what I actually called this podcast, and for good reason. Ultimately, not all hires go the way we want them to. Not all new staff members are going to be around for a long period of time, unfortunately. Now, I know that's not our desire to have that in place. And, there is quite a few situations and stories I can give you about myself and also our clients that have been in situations where we haven't taken on necessarily the right person at the right time, but we've needed to be able to maybe fill a void. Or maybe it's a bit of a stopgap for a 6-month period or something like that we know is going to work and help out and be the benefit of clients and the team and the business moving forward. But we might actually know that it's not going to be the best long-term solution. And so what we have to really be careful about in employing staff, and I'm not for one moment saying that we shouldn't have team members and you shouldn't try and grow, because in the health and medical industry, we have to be able to create more leverage. We have to be able to build and grow and scale, and we must be able to get more out of team members and have more team members as well if we're really wanting to grow, scale, and have huge amounts of impact. So let's make sure we keep that in mind. But the real hidden cost for us growing in health and medical businesses is purely around the staff turnover. There's that word again, staff. See, good team members stay. Good team members are part of the team. They become part of the culture. Like my very first health business many years ago now, we've actually got our first lot of team members that are actually completing long service leave. And when you think about that, that's 8 weeks of paid leave after they do 10 years of work with the team. And that's a big expense. If you've got someone on, $100K a year, then all of a sudden you're sitting there going, that's many, many thousands of dollars that is going to be put forward into that situation purely and simply because it's long service. And so therefore it's a cost. But I'm actually very, very proud of the fact we have team members that have been with the team for more than 10 years. And I'll be honest, I don't know anyone else in a private setting or private practice setting apart from maybe the business owner themselves, that actually is in a situation where they have team members that have done more than 10 years as a physio or 10 years as an EP and has to actually go through that. And that's something I'm damn proud of. So that's not even the hidden costs that I'm referring to on this either, because they're team members. They're around for a long period of time. They're part of the furniture. They're part of the DNA of the team, of the business. What I'm actually talking about with this is the hidden cost of staff and staff turnover. We've done extensive amounts of review into this over many years, and we can actually track approximately $30,000 of what it will cost a decent-sized health or medical business to actually do a changeover of staff. And what I mean by that is you've had someone there for 6 months, 12 months, maybe even 2 years, doesn't matter. The fact is, when someone leaves, a staff member leaves, you get into a situation that by the time you actually maybe have to reduce things fairly quickly or suddenly with regarding to workload, maybe you need to change over who works with that sporting team or that aged care facility or some of the external contracts, corporate contracts, home visits. There's a huge amount of time that has to get attributed into that. Quite often there's extra workload where they might leave. They might even give you 4 weeks notice. But then by the time you actually go and get ads done, video ads done, go through the hiring process, do group interviews, go through the testing process and actually find the person best fit and then actually get them started, they might have to give 4 weeks notice. I mean, we had clients last year that had, it was actually two situations where clients were bringing on new team members and they actually had to wait 6 weeks because both of the people had to give 6 weeks notice to their current employers. So you might then have someone leave 4 weeks today, but you might not be able to find that right person, get them to, sit down, go through everything. And that might not happen for, say, 2 weeks. And then if they've got to give 4 weeks themselves, they might finish up on the Thursday and not want to start till the Monday so that they've got a day or two just to have a breather and then start at the new place. So you might have 2 or 3 weeks where all of a sudden your clinic numbers are going to be down because there's a full caseload that can't be covered. You've also got the hidden costs then of what that's going to look like for utilizations, for the fact that you can't take on board as many new clients in those 3 weeks as possible as well. And if each person is on average seeing you 5 times and the lifetime value of a client is maybe not even the lifetime value, but just the avenue based in and around the fact that, let's say, $100 average consult, 5 consults, every new consult's worth $500. If you're in a situation where there's 10 clients in that 3 week period that can't be seen, there's a $5,000 differential and a $5,000 to the negative side for you and the business moving forward because of staff changeover. And then once all of that happens and you think it's like, they're starting on Monday and everyone can back their work hours off a little bit. See, the other thing is as well, once you go beyond 38 hours for your full-time team members, if they've got to cover hours, they have to be paid time and a half. Once they go beyond 40 hours, it's double time. So there's those costs that can easily add up to $500 or $600, maybe even more over a 3 or 4 week period. Then once it's all smooth sailing as such, and people actually come on board and start, you've actually got the mentoring onboarding pathway. So for us, we actually have a 3-month program that actually runs through. It's like a 20-something page document. We outline everything that we're going to take them through before they start to get to know our team, our vision, our mission, our points of culture, to be part of the family. We want to get to know them. We do DISC profiles. We work on the communication pathway. We set up their personal and professional development so we know what courses they're doing, where they want to be in 12 months' time and 2 years' time, and we start stepping those out. We have weekly meetings one-on-one with them to grow them personally and keep it in alignment. We make sure they have one-on-one meetings with senior therapists as well every week to make sure that they can get through their clinical reasoning. We get them to work with the team, the whole team of practitioners every week in the professional development side. And then there's the external contracts and all the other avenues that go as part of our onboarding process. Now, without wanting to brag, I know that we do an amazing job at this. And how I know that is because the majority of people over the last decade, the average is 4.8 years, I think it is at the moment, for how long they actually stay with our team before someone moves on. And one of the things that has dragged that number down for us over the years has been that we've taken international people. We've taken international physios out of New Zealand, for instance, that we brought across knowing who they were and what they were doing. We bring them across and they're only able to work here for 2 years, and it's set up so that we know they'll be with us for 2 years, and then they go to, the UK and work for 2 years, etc. So that drags our number down on that 4.8 years. And then, like I said, we've got people that are doing long service leave and been with us for more than 10 years. So we know that we do an amazing job with that. We know we have a huge amount of emphasis and influence and importance placed on the team and the culture and the avenues moving forward, because one of the biggest hidden costs in your business right now is the changeover of staff. There are so many hidden costs that are attributed to that people don't think about. Maybe I could give you a great story about a gentleman in Queensland only about a week ago that was going through this situation. He's not a well, he is a bit of a client, and when we help him out with some stuff, but he hasn't been working with us heavily, and so it's challenging because I can't be too overly direct. But the mentality that he had was that it's actually a good thing because I'm dropping a full-time 38-hour a week wage by this guy leaving, and I'm only going to have to pick up someone for, I think it was 28 or maybe 30 hours. So that's going to be better, blah, etc. And so his whole mentality is, I'm going to save myself $200 or $300 a week by having that person on less. But that's actually really a fait accompli of negative finish lines that you're not going to want to get to because you don't have an avenue to grow. You don't have the right opportunity to build people forward. And it's all about trying to risk minimize and drop money out of your business on the expenditure side of things and not having an avenue to grow. And again, that's a mentality that a lot of people go through when they have staff turnover. So guys, here's the thing. If you're going to have team members and you're going to grow and scale and have huge impact, you have to first of all have team members. You've got to have them on with a complete massive onboarding program and a complete mentoring pathway. There's got to be huge focus in on your team culture with everything moving forward, because the biggest hidden cost is actually staff turnover. Like I said, it pushes out to nearly $30,000 on average that it costs a business in the health and medical industry to turn over a practitioner from one full-timer to another full-timer. And when you think about it, if you have to do that twice a year and you're actually now investing $50,000 to $60,000 a year in staff turnover, what would that actually be worth to you if you got it right? When you got it right? When you only had one turnover, not two each year? Or in our situation, we haven't had any for more than 2 years. We've only done hires. We've done hires and added to the team and haven't had anyone leave for 2.5 years. You think about how much, if you've had two full-timers turn over, like two have left and two have come on board in the last 2.5 years, and we've had none, then I know that our revenues and hence profits are 50 to 60K better off straight off the money. So that's a huge amount of money and a huge amount of hidden costs that's in your business right now. So let's get focusing on having team members, not staff. Let's make sure we have the right onboarding processes in place and we have a really big focus on the team and the culture. Let's grow people personally and professionally. Let's play above the line so that when people do leave, we don't cut this bullshit excuse of it, they weren't the right fit or they. That's a playing below the line excuse of blaming other people for the fact that the fish stinks from the head down. It comes down to you to make this, to drive this and make it happen so that your team want to be on board for 5 years, 10 years and onwards. And that is going to be a huge, big money saver and ultimately money maker for your business and your team, and huge amount of extra benefit for the lives that you can have impact on in the years ahead. So go and get that right, because that is the biggest hidden cost in your business, and we don't need to go through it near as many times as what we do in our businesses right now. I'll talk to you again very soon. Hey guys, thank you very much for listening to another episode of the Profitable Practice Podcast. I would love nothing more than for you to be able to leave a review. I get so much joy out of listening and reading the amazing things that you guys say about this. So please subscribe to our channel, leave a review, and share it with your friends. Let's get some more fantastic information out there so all of us can grow the industry together. Cheers for now.